All right, everybody, welcome back into the Golden Tee Lounge. I am Kevin Lindsay. This week, or today, actually, we are streaming the brand new tee boxes for this week's events mode. So our 8th week of World Championship qualifying. And as you can see, this is our first week of brand new tee boxes on all 5 main 2019 courses. So Pine Meadow and Crawdad Swamp do not have new tee boxes, but Catadreas Beach that you see here, Sandhill Woods, Agave Ranch, Beals Creek, Pembroke Links, all new tee boxes, and we've picked the best of the best to kick off our 8th week of World Championship qualifying. This is the very first tee box you'll see when you swipe in to play your first qualifying game. So let's get started, shall we? This is Catadreas Beach Hole 2, now completely drivable with this setup. If you have not had a chance to go out there and play, I do believe that there is a tee box that is farther back, non-drivable, but on top of one of those canyons. So let's see if we can shoot some low scores today. Actually, if we could start this with an ace, I'd feel great. Oh, not a hole-in-one, but I'll take it. Let's see. Pull up our friends from YouTube and Twitch. Also, if you've noticed, if you haven't noticed, now you can. Agave Ranch has a little bit of a different look to it in events mode. That'll be fixed by in a few weeks here. But it is fun to see these new tee boxes. So if you remember, you can kind of see them back there. Those square boxes back there were the original tee boxes where you had to worry about hitting the little lip and getting wet. Now you have to worry about slowing your ball down and not getting wet. But we're just going to be a little aggressive here and just have some fun with it. So we have 5 weeks of World Championship qualifying through events mode left. We've got this week and then 4 weeks thereafter. We're going to take a look and see how the mixed tee boxes for 2019 turn out before we let you know what next week's course will be. Probably another mixed up, different set of holes with a completely different set of tees. And then after that, well, you'll just have to wait and find out. Our home World Championship qualifying is going on right now. It just finished up at the end of March, and now we have a few invites that players are going to be playing the top 100 in the world rankings from the end of March, and we're going to whittle that down all the way to the top 5 players going to Las Vegas. This is another interesting hole. This is Pembroke, I believe 4 or 2, I can't remember, but this is actually a par 5 that is now drivable. So if you look way back here, this big box, this big round thing back there, that's where we used to tee off, and now you're looking at one of the new tee boxes that make this completely drivable. And it'll definitely be some interesting YouTube shots this week. Also, I know some of you have pointed out that Shots of the Week has not been showing up on the cabinet. We figured out the little glitch there, and as of next week, you'll be seeing that. But be on the lookout for later today or tomorrow. Our Shots of the Week, our top 5 Shots of the Week video will return on social media. Let's see, this is Sandhill. So much better look than before. These 2 tee boxes over here, at the glance of this, does not look like a big change, but you're taking these trees pretty much out of play, and depending on your club set, you can just use a low driver or a zero bird if you're using that on Sandhill for this mix-up, because I'm not sure what the looks are. I kind of just stuck with my regular 9.5 degree driver, 10.5 degree driver, and so on and so forth. Hopefully what's actually on the screen here is exactly what you guys are seeing perfect. Beals Creek, another hole that used to be not tricky, not difficult, but kind of somewhere in between. Teeing up a high 5 or a high 3, depending on the setup, around these trees. And now we are just going straight at it. We'll go 10.5 degree driver soft just to see what happens, but now you're tackling the hole and a much better chance for a hole-in-one. But look at that, after what, 5 holes, and it's already a 9 under, and this is my first time seeing most of these setups. So if I can do it, I'm pretty sure that most of you can as well. The one thing I know a lot of you have mentioned, and we've kind of touted it the last couple weeks here, is that last year we introduced the idea of new tees. Some of the courses had similar tees to what the original ones that came out in October were, but this year Jim and the team have gone back to the drawing board and completely changed things up. So like that hole on Sandhill, the tee box wasn't too crazily different from the original one, but some of these holes like here, the last couple ones you've seen, you're taking out some big rocks out of play, and now you're just trying to cut the ball around these rocks and hit the green. Pardon me as I get over a cold here. Bad chips all around. I was wondering how long it would take before I had a chip on the live stream and potentially embarrass myself, but Chris, the Home Invitational will be coming out tomorrow. We've actually set it up with our team, and that's what we're testing now. That it doesn't require any of you to accept the invite or pay to get in the Invitational. We're just doing all that work for you. So although it is a few days after, well, it's technically only the 2nd day of April, the team is testing through some scripts to actually make things a lot easier for us and for the Home Edition qualifiers. And I was focused on Chris's question. That was actually another par 5 that now becomes drivable, a drivable par 4 from Agave Ranch. I don't like that. Not a wonderful shot there, but we're still staying on the green, putting in for birdie. But the crazy thing about these tee boxes, hopefully you've gone out and played them yourself. If not, you will see them over the next couple days. But there's some very stark differences. I mean, the next game we play, I've heard from players in the field that the second game does look pretty different from the first game. So some of the tee boxes you're seeing now, some of the par 5s that are actually drivable now, might not necessarily be drivable in the next couple of games of events mode. I think that's the nice thing, is that these brand new tee boxes, they add a lot of variety, but also debuting them in events mode it just works out really well. This hole, I can already tell you, I'm most likely going to end up in the water. I've heard a lot of discussion on social media of players figuring out what club to hit through here. So we are just going to hope for the best. We're just going to wing it here. And this is either going in the water or it's going to go completely through the trees as if they weren't even there. All right, that's not awful, actually, if it stays dry. Nope. Okay, so if you try to crush a 9.5 degree driver, it may work. I was trying to play it safe, and I played it too safe. Now, one thing to point out, you know, for the few of you that have played casual or played Real-Time Rivals, this is actually a casual tee box over to our left there, that's square. And so the team kind of decided to throw in a little bit of an easier look with these new tee boxes where you can just go right at the pin. Should have hit that a little bit harder, but again, some of these holes are going to get a bit easier, but also some of them are going to get more difficult. Perfect example of one that gets slightly more difficult is now you've got this whole huge hill in the way here that wasn't in play before, whereas you were normally teeing off from this big square up there and you only had to hit around a little bit of the hill. So we are going to high tee an 8.5 and see what happens. Might be able to get away without high teeing it. I definitely missed the trackball there, so that's probably going to get wet. Also going to see some new drop zones, I'm sure, with the way some of these designs get changed up. Jeremy, thank you for joining in and chiming in. We appreciate that you love 2019, and hopefully you'll love it even more now with these new tee boxes. This is actually one heck of a setup. This is a very, very tucked in pin right behind that. Wow, good work, Jim and team. Let's see. We're just going to go for it. We're trying to get an ace. Probably going to get wet. I'd almost prefer getting into the water because that just looks like a heck of a drop. Oh, come on. Home Edition, we're still working out, like I said, some of the stuff with the Home Edition invites, but the plan is that you will have 5 to 6 days, that each round of Home Edition invites will end on Sunday. That way we can go through and anybody who qualified through events mode can be taken out of the invitational contest, etc., etc. Woo! It's a little hot there, but still in the cup. So not the best score because we're kind of playing around here and trying some different things. This is another hole that's interesting. This is Pembroke 7 or 8, I believe. I did see somebody hit an ace on this through from the new tee box. Pretty sure that you can get up there. I'm not going to be trying to ace this, but we're just trying to get it up there and have a putt for eagle.
Well done. Nice stop. What do you think, Peter?
So caught the hill, but we're just going to roll right down, get caught by the fringe. Ugh, rough. But so far you can see a lot of holes are now an easier eagle. Also, you know, we call it new tee boxes, but it's also new tee boxes, new pin placements. It's just kind of harder to put that in the title of a sentence.
Golfer 1 looking for a birdie.
So while you're getting new tee boxes, you're also going to get brand new pin placements, and you know, some are going to change a lot more than others. We've already seen a few holes where the par has changed. Actually, Agave Ranch, what is this, 17, looks to get a little bit easier, at least with this tee box. Oh, looks good. Come on. Ah, almost had it. Good friend Jack telling me to ace it. I wish I could. It would make my life a lot easier if I could just hole out everything. And hole 18, which is fittingly hole 18 at Cadadres Beach. New tee box. I will warn you, there's also a tee box on top of one of these rocks, a few of these rocks. definitely have to give kudos to Jim Z and the course development team for the new tee boxes this year. Last year was the start of something brand new and fresh, and now I think they've stepped up their game tenfold with this. So not the best score for our first event game of the Mixed Tees week, but again, we are trying something new. These are all new looks. I have not seen these looks before. As you can see when I check in, that was game 1 of my 5 to qualify for the event. $9,400 in the prize pool, or actually over $9,400 in the prize pool. Also, you get 60 tees this week if you play 5 games and qualify. And here you go. So before, if you're just joining us now, you're seeing that the first tee box of what is this? Category is 2, potentially drivable, most likely drivable, but about 30 yards shorter than what it was with the other tee box. Yeah, so $9,425 prize pool, 300 spots paid, $1,000 top prize. Let's see, how can we get this there in one? Nope. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but that's actually an awful, this is not even a good layup spot. So you got to be careful with some of these new boxes. You're going to want to try new shots. You're going to try to want to drive stuff. I mean, you see a 400-yard tee shot, and you go, okay, I've driven this hole before. But you have to be careful that you don't do stuff like what I just did, unless I hole out for birdie. Makes it difficult to kind of keep track of your par there. Since we're live streaming, and I'm not actually qualifying, we're just going to have some fun. Let's see if I could actually make this really cool shot. Ah, that would have been nice. Rick Jones from YouTube. Invites coming to Canada. I do not have a definitive date, but I do know that it is coming sometime this year. There's just a few kinks that we're working out on our back end, and also with our folks, our partners in Canada. I could actually find that out, hopefully, and see if I get back to you before the end of the live stream. Look at this beautiful, I'm just going to go naked on this look. No spin, just a low tee straight at the pin. Oh, come on, look at that. That's definitely the look there. Low 9.5 or 8.5 degree driver straight on towards the pin of Sandhill Woods there on hole 4. And again, some of the things Adam and I try to explain through these videos and stuff, but it's hard until you actually get to see all the looks. You know, this is a new tee box. It's very similar to one of the original tee boxes, but definitely changes the shot up a bit. You still get a straightforward look at the hole. You can kind of just use a 10.5 degree driver, go right over those trees, or get really close to the hole. I actually didn't think I was doing that well, but I guess anything can happen when it comes to Golden Tee, correct? I know we've all been there for sure. Here's a perfect example. So this tee box, you are now on top of the rocks, and it's still drivable par 4, but you have to factor in that elevation change for when you play. Probably should also pull back your shot, unlike yours truly. Barely slipped on by the fringe there. So, Agave Ranch, now a par 5 that is now drivable and a par 4. Hit that green. Boom.
That made the green. Golfer 1. Golfer 1 from the tee box.
Same thing with Pembroke, this par 3, completely different look than the new tee box we had in the last game. Last tee box was a straightforward look from the other side, and now we're hitting over the water and just trying to get our birdie and move on. Again, I'm going to repeat myself 100,000 times during this live stream because the team really has done some magnificent work with the new tee boxes. They're in lots of different places this time around. We took the player feedback from last year. You guys love the idea of these springtime brand new tees. And then speaking of which, because I know somebody did mention it either on one of our previous videos or now, so between now and sometime in the summer, we're going to have these new tee boxes, and then towards the end of the summer through the launch of 2020 in September, October, we'll actually mix all the tee boxes. So that'll be kind of your summertime treat. Late summer, we'll mix all the tee boxes, and then you'll get to see all the awful tee boxes of Sandhill, where I'm just going to continuously go in the water. Oh, hello, Brad Stewart. Can only wonder what you are going to ask me. Alright, Agave Ranch. I love this look at the hole just because this is similar to the casual tee box that is in Real Time Rivals that myself and Adam Kramer spent, probably a couple hundred hours recording all the shots for these courses. So, and here's another beautiful look. So our last tee box here for Pembroke, one of the later par 4s that is drivable. Tee box was right next to the original one, but you had to go right over the hill, and now you're getting a perfect straight-on look. You got to be careful because it does look like a lot of these new pin placements happen to be around the rough edges. So anytime you're trying to hole out, or I know in St. Louis at the end of the month at the Power Events Golden Tee Tournament, when it comes to match play, these kinds of things will definitely come into effect. Brad Stewart, missed you too, my friend. Hopefully see you soon. And again, because I like to have fun and I'm not actually qualifying for the World Championship, we're just going to wing it and go right at the pin.
Wow, that was dead on.
And also, as we work towards building next week's Events Mode contest, if you guys have some other favorite holes of 2019 that have brand new tee boxes that aren't in this contest, but you might want to see in next week's, feel free to message us on Facebook or tag us. We're always willing to listen to you guys and, potentially include some of the fun tee boxes that maybe you guys have seen that we haven't necessarily seen yet. Very interesting look from Beals 17 or 16, I believe. Probably going to mess this up. But let's just see what happens. Now for me, I'm trying to think, okay, I want to ace this and be one of the first people to ace these new shots. But at the same time, also kind of make it hard to do that when these are the first time we've seen these tee boxes. Also, if you haven't done so already, I know some of you have, highly suggest as we start to do more and more of these live streams, my goal is to do a few of these a week, whether it's during Monday Mix-Up, Freaky Friday, Events Mode, stuff like that. Make sure you go over to our Facebook page if you're watching on there, and make sure that you click, let's see if I can pull it up on the screen here. Make sure you click so you can see under the like button there's following, and it probably sets as default. If you check following Golden Tee to see first, anytime that we live stream, we're going to pop up in your news feed there. So make sure, and if you're on YouTube or Twitch, make sure you subscribe and follow us there as well. Also on Twitter and Instagram, where we post a lot of fun videos, shots of the day, and giveaways. But plenty of different ways that you can join us, and whether it's live or just all the fun social content that we're posting over the next couple months and weeks and months, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you get on the action there and join us along the way. Oh, my good friend F This from YouTube, our cat putter extraordinaire, it says he's tricking his wife into Vegas this year, and she has no idea it's for the World Championship. Well, buddy, hopefully you make it out there. We would love to meet you. We would love to have you play in our Closest to the Pin contest. Oh, listen, I got a good feeling about this. Oh, yeah. Oof, almost. World Championship, we were just out in Las Vegas for the Amusement Expo and the Nightclub and Bar Show. Way too much time in Vegas, lots of working, but lots of fun and exciting meetings and discussions. Also met with our partners at the Orleans from Boyd Gaming. A lot of exciting stuff going on for the World Championship in June. So if you haven't done so yet, book your trip June 21st through the 23rd. And even if you're not one of the 73 people that will already be qualified when we get to Las Vegas, Skip, almost. Did not put enough on there. Went out a little bit too far. But even if you haven't qualified for the World Championship by the time June rolls around, our 74th qualifier will be determined on Friday, June 21st, in a Closest to the Pin contest. Dave Sandmeyer, I'm not sure if he's still on the stream or if he had joined in yet, but last year was our non-qualified player who won his his entry in the World Championship, which is worth a very good couple of $100. I would say at least 500, if not more. Not good at math. Not going to try to math right now. But even if you qualify through our Closest to the Pin contest and you go 0-2, you're still walking away with some cash and the fun and excitement of saying you qualified for the Golden Tee World Championship. But as always, lots more going on that soon. Here's the look I was talking about originally. Not too much different than our original tee boxes, but we're teeing off the top of a cliff. And we're just going right at it. Don't think anybody's going to be chipping on the green from this look. Oof. Yes, Cody, you must have just joined. I am fighting, getting over a cold, but I originally wanted to do this live stream yesterday. Was not feeling up to par, but I did not want all of you to have to wait any longer. So, outside of the occasional cough and drink of water, I'm feeling good. We're playing some Golden Tee, having some fun. Seeing a lot of new looks on these 2019 courses. I think Danny Boy actually said it best, Bob Squibbus, whatever you want to call him. It's almost like you're getting 5 brand new courses because the tee boxes are honestly that much different this year around. Let's see if we can get a nice little YouTube shot of the day. We're just going to kind of hop this on up there. I wanted more of a kick. Didn't get the kick I wanted, but look at that. Still putting in for eagle. Even though it used to be a par 5, it's now a drivable par 4. Still getting the chance to walk away with that eagle. Almost aced this hole on last game with a pretty straightforward look. Oh, I like this. Come on. Oh, dang it. I used to hate this hole having to go around or through the trees with a low zero hybrid, but now I'm pretty much digging the head-on look of Catadreas Beach there. Or excuse me, Sandhill Woods. Back to our straightforward look at Beals. Tried pushing it out, didn't pull it back enough, but that's okay. Still walking away with eagles. A lot of these drivable holes are used to pretty much the same difficulty, just have to learn a few new shots. Something like this from Catadreas Beach, which I'm correctly calling, finally. Definitely some different looks. It's going to make for some very fun shots of the day and shots of the week, which, if you're just joining us, will be hopefully be back to your local Golden Tee cabinet next week. We figured out what the technicality was. Oh, look at that. There is a few par 5s, 2 of which you see in this game. 2 par 5s that have been changed over to par 4s with new tee boxes. So always exciting when we could do something crazy like that. This is going in the hole, just so you know. Oh, how are you going to do me like that? I call my shot. It's like Babe Ruth calling a shot, and then it hits the fence and comes back into the play. Just can't catch a break, but... Alright, Beals. Anytime you take the trees out of play in this course, especially in the drivable par 4s, always a happy man. So look at that. 2 birdies on par 3, non-drivable par 4, 15 after 9. I'd say it's a pretty good score. And then you get to this hole, which I got nothing for you. No idea. So we're just going to try some new stuff here. Nope, I already know that's not going to work. Oh, that almost went. Look, I don't even care if that stays dry, but look at this. That almost, man, it got wet anyways. But that actually, not the ideal shot there, but look at that. Almost got through without hitting the tree, and that actually would have caught the green, I think. And then I get chipped. So after a few more casual-esque looks from Agave here, finally get put back near the original tee boxes, but still a little bit different and still changed up a bit. And still walking away with an eagle. You know, for somebody that's sick, it would have made sense for me to bring Kleenex in here for all of you to listen to me blow my nose, but that's all right. Another Pembroke's Links straightforward look. We're collecting GSPs for the day today. If you haven't seen it on Facebook or Instagram yet, or Twitter, we actually got our first test of the bad chip that I just hit. But we received our Arcade 1-Up Golden Tee Classic. Thankfully, got that put together this morning and started to play it. Brings back memories that of me as a little kid playing Golden Tee. And hopefully, we can share more about that with you over the next couple of weeks as well. Oh, that was a double fringe hit. Make sure when you're putting from the fringe that you don't hit the fringe more than once. I got talking about my childhood and got too excited. Now this is definitely a drivable look. You got to be careful that you don't hit it too short and end up chipping in for eagle, which means with those bunkers from Pembroke, you're most likely chipping for a birdie if you're lucky, or a par. Ooh, look at that. I will take that. I am not going to show you guys my cell phone number, though, although most of you already have it. But it's the internet, and you can't trust anybody on the internet unless they're selling you something from Nigeria. So, since I had Quick Shot on, because I didn't expect that to happen, let's just appreciate that beauty as it is. Boom. Super spin, just kicked back right in the hole. Steve Sears, that's for you, my friend. Thank you for joining. Oh yeah, my friend behind me, John Daly, everybody. If you've not met John Daly, there's John Daly. Kind of forget that he's back there. After somebody stands behind you for so long, you kind of just get used to it. Am I right? Can we go back to back? Oh, that would have been sweet, and I would have just went home for the day, clocked out early. Oh, that would have been nice. Back-to-back hole-in-ones, much less back-to-back live stream hole-in-ones, would have been perfect. Alright, I actually really like this setup here on Cottage Race 18. See if I can catch the green this time. Oh, I caught a lot of the green. So, a little too hot there. But thankfully my rusty trusty 5 hybrid chips in for eagle. So definitely had some opportunities there for some score, you know, two pars there. Definitely a 31 setup there. So that was game 3 of events mode. So if you have not yet played, you can go back once this live stream is over, start from the beginning and see all those setups and learn some of the shots that you might want to hit when you go out to your local bar, restaurant, arcade, wherever you're playing, and enjoy that. I could have thanked you for the back-to-back, Steve, but I didn't get it, so unfortunately, not happening. All right. We're going to take one quick break here. I'm going to run and grab some water. But this is game 4 of events mode. This week, the new tee boxes 2019 mix-up of events mode, and we'll be back. All right, we're back, better than ever here. Live streaming events mode. This is game 4 of this week's event, the 2019 mixed tees, all brand new tees, and a lot of crazy looks that you guys are going to see. Barely missed the my good old friend the rock wall over there. Now we're putting in for eagle. Never a bad game when you start off with an eagle, especially in events mode. Joe, I'm actually using grabbers. Ooh, that's a tricky setup. Let's see. How do I want to approach this? Yeah, so I'm using grabber golf balls. Typically, that's what I use for most of the live streams. There has been an instance or two where I use streaks, but you can actually see it right below under the list of clubs. So I show that it's grabbers and what I'm using. I know a lot of people switch between grabbers and streaks. Some of the setups on the previous course layouts, players would switch to streaks on the course if they knew they had a chance to get a stroke or two advantage because of it. Oh, come on. I've had one hole-in-one on the live stream today, and now I want more. But I know there are a good amount of players that use stouts because it cuts into the wind. You really don't get affected by it too much. I suggest as a brand new player, grabbers to go all the way. Unless something's changed and nobody's informed me, I think grabbers are pretty much the most common ball of all the players, you know, all checked-in players across Golden Tee. But I will say this, whether you start with stouts or start with grabbers, streaks, and then switch to the stouts, definitely going to be a learning curve for you there. I know a lot of people who have a home edition have definitely switched back and forth because they, you know, can try out the different types of balls, see how they like the stouts. But with the stouts cutting the wind as much as they do, it's really a learning curve that you'll just have to get used to. Looking for a friend called the wind. There we go. Another look at Agave Ranch, our par 5 that is now a drivable par 4. Catch that green. Boom, there we go. I do seem to be doing, as they call, the threading the needle a lot because I've noticed this over the course of these few games. A lot of these new tee boxes and pin placements, a lot of those new pin placements are on the edge of the green. So definitely have to be careful there. This might go in. Oh, almost. I don't trust myself hitting a C 2.5, so we are just going to do a high 6 wood right over the trees onto the green, playing it safe. You know, you're going to have a little bit of a putt, but not much of one. And look at that, 16 under after 9 with the way some of those setups work. Let's see if we can actually get this on the green. Somebody, I'm surprised none of the pros have chimed in yet with what they've hit. We're going to just do a high 5 with roll and hope for the best. I think high 5 with roll might be your best bet on some of those setups. A lot closer on the green, which is impressive, but actually a lot closer than I really thought we would get. So this tee box is pretty interesting. So it's in between some of the other tee boxes you've seen. Kind of makes you put in a little bit of thought. Now remember, there is a slight... come on! Ugh. Just call me the GSP, man. You do have to remember there is a slight elevation change. So I took that into account when I switched from the 10.5 degree driver to the 9.5. A little bit farther of a look with this new tee box from Pembroke. So we're just going to hit a 3 wood poorly. This is typical me. I'm actually doing good in a game, so I decided, how can I screw this up? So if you have the new look from behind the hill, don't hit a 3 wood. That was actually a silly mistake. Should have definitely hit a 5 high. This is a new look. I think this is, what is this, the 3 hybrid? Oh yeah, I'm taking it. Thank you. I'm quitting, calling off the rest of the day. That was, I gotta say, I hit that shot. Didn't think it had a chance of actually hitting the green and dunking in the cup, but I have to say, I am truly excited for that. Now it's going to be hard choosing shot of the day, because do I be that guy who chooses his own shots? I mean, I don't know. That's tough. You let me know. That was for screwing up hole 12. That's what I do. Is I play really well. I screw up a hole, and then I follow it up with something like a hole out, and I wonder why do I suck at this game. Case in point.
Here's a sinker.
Hole out.
An easy lie here.
It's actually just a test to see how well you people know me after watching me in the live stream. But we're going to ignore this game. I'm not qualifying for the World Championship anyways. I'm going to be there working hard, having fun with all of you. A little bit of a long look here. Definitely don't know how. I feel like I just might have broken the trackball there.
It's in the rough.
But that's okay. Thank you, Todd. Hey, that's 2 hole-in-ones in 4 games on a live stream. That's like unprecedented. I don't think I've ever done that before. It's a really short look from Pembroke or from Sandhill here. The previous hole that I aced, it was a little bit of a longer look before. I'm liking this shot on Agave. Come on. Oh. I believe you can actually get 158 on the dial mic. I do believe a few weeks ago on one of the live streams I did hit 158 because I remember there being a debate and I felt very cool to know that I hit one of the highest numbers. And just like always, do well, hit water. Boom. Oh, come on. That should have went in. All right. So, 27 under. Clearly should have been a lot more. Should have been at least a 32 there. But some definite scoring opportunities, big scoring opportunities there with these new tee boxes, with this mixed tees for 2019. All right. That was game 4. We're going to play game 5 and then get out of here for the day. Watch these games. Whether you're at the bar now with your buddies playing or you're going to meet up with your buddies later, watch these. And if you're wondering how to lay up on hole 1, boom. Perfect. Just showed you how. Just kidding. I was trying to be greedy and hit the green in 1. But that's okay. We'll take birdie and pretend like none of this ever happened. But, as always with these live streams, whether it's Monday Mix-Up, a regular daily contest, events mode, Freaky Friday, go through, if you have not played any events this week, go through when you go to the bar later today and play. Watch the shots I hit. Watch the shots that do really well. Watch the shots where I hit the water. But pay attention to that shot feedback meter because you have the luxury of watching live now. But when the stream is over and it gets archived on Facebook and YouTube, it's a very good tool for players of any skill level to go through and say, hey, let's see what Kevin hit on this shot. Did it work for him? Does it match the style of golf I play? And, don't always do exactly what I do. Everybody plays Gold Tee differently. Everybody uses different clubs and different balls. But you can still see the setup and kind of think a little bit more about the shot you're going to hit before you actually get out there and do it. I think this is probably the longest look I've seen on Sandhill so far.
Amazing backspin, Peter.
Still walking away with eagle, though. Nice little gap there on Beals Creek.
The spin's bringing it back. Right where he was aiming. Wow. Golfer 1 at the tee.
Probably the more difficult look that we've seen so far on Catadreas here. It definitely takes the water out of the play, hitting between the canyon walls that you used to have to do, but you got to make sure you play that elevation change correctly. Otherwise, you're going to have a rough time. Definitely did not mean to hit the ball like that, but I will take it if it stays up there. Oh, look at that. 5 games, 3 hole ones. I'm taking the rest of the day off. I'm gonna go get a Z-Pack or something, make me feel better, and I'm just going home for the day. I'm gonna see my Cairo, go home, and not play Golden Tee until the next live stream, because that is 3 hole ones and 5 games. And this isn't a daily contest. I can't even do this in a daily contest or a Freaky Friday where the setups are the exact same. These are all new looks that I'm seeing, so maybe I don't suck at this game as much as I think I do. And I didn't follow up a hole-in-one with a water ball. Or at least I don't think I did. Almost a water ball. So that's got to be a record, too. But I followed it up with a terrible, terrible trip. Terrible chip. And a trip to the green. Now we are back to the closer look on Sandhill. So we're going to try to smash a 5-wood with roll again and hope for the best. I actually just cleared the green. So if you get that short look on the new tee box, do not go smash happy with your 5-wood. But 5-wood seems to be the trick. And myself, as many other players would tell you, I definitely would rather be chipping for eagle than chipping in across the water from birdie if you get wet. Love tap. All right, so pro tip. Don't hit the 3-wood here. Hit the 5-wood. There's your public service announcement. Uh-oh. Oh, that might be going in. Come on. Oh. Then I absolutely positively would be going home. My boss is probably hearing me through the wall wondering what the heck I'm talking about, but when you're playing such good Golden Tee, sometimes you just gotta take off. We're going to try something silly and fun. Didn't work the way I wanted to because I hit it too hard, but I wanted to see if I could ride up the slope. Instead, chipping in for birdie and walking away. Alright, since I've already watered these types of setups, or this tee box at least 3 times, we're going to overcompensate and just try to get a eagle putt. As always, when you have a down putt or an up putt, click left 1. Look at that. I see that it's very, very slightly sloped to the right. And see, that was the right right one by a hair that I didn't factor into my putt. How many aces have you had? Todd, that's a great question. If not counting closest to the pin when I used to play, 10 to 20 games on a good day sometimes. I'd say probably 5. I would say probably 5. It's got to be close to a record for me. Especially not counting, daily contest play where I'm seeing the same looks and I can adapt my shot. All right, can we get one more? One more hole-in-one. Nope, hit that way too hard. I knew that 15 was going to carry, but man, that crushed it. Although I kind of like this setup from Agave 17. That 15-mile-an-hour wind did not play as nicely as I hoped. Alright, as we're coming up to hole 18, let's see. Oh, Cam pointed out the barrages are also popular now as a golf ball. That's good. My cat putter friend said that was a sweet dunk. If my A1 ultra thin through the trees in Sequoia 4 didn't make it. Oh, that's funny. Alright, hole 18. 18 of Cadres Beach. Actually, an awful pin. Very little chance I ace this. But we're going to have some fun with it. We're going to low tee a 9.5 degree driver. We're going to try to skip it off the water, which will happen. Or just not even skip the water, just skip it. Literally skip the water. Don't care about it.
Very light touch needed here, Jim. Any more, way past the hole.
Almost had a magic putt or chip for eagle. Stop, stop, stop. Okay.
Won't be fun at all from here. It don't get much worse than this, Jim.
Okay. Instead, we're walking away bogey, but it doesn't matter at this point. I'm not qualifying for Worlds. You guys are. So, this video will be archived in a little bit from our friends at Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you go through, watch the shots I hit that did well. Try to follow those as closely as possible. As always, you can see the club set I'm using below. Now, I do need to point out those irons are super spin and the gap wedge and the lob wedge, but using the grabber golf ball. So if you're using grabber or barrage or something similar, you can take this video, watch the shots I hit, make sure you pay attention to that shot feedback meter, and then go from there. Not sure when we'll see you next. Might be before Friday. If not, we'll be bringing this week's Freaky Friday to you. And as always, from the Golden Tee Lounge, I'm Kevin Lindsay. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.